Welcome all to our NFL Cappers Contest show. Slaughter has bought us into the Circa Millions as well. We are back to do it again, Jose. There were some bumps along the road of year one. How do you feel about year two?
I'm excited for it. I know. We had to drag you in here, obviously, but I'm excited for it because we're gonna, change up the format a bit. We've got the best now voting on this, so I think we're on the path of glory here today, Jim, and I think today's the first day of it. Oh, but either way, I mean, I helped this show helped me a lot capping football myself because I was the only person on this panel that finished in the top, five last year, Jim.
Yeah. No, you were
Come
you
on,
were
I'm ready. I'm
you were
excited.
you were very, very impressive last year. And if it wasn't for your donkey fingers, you may have come second.
Yep. I would have come in second, yeah, but I'm such a fucking fat skunt. It's just great. It makes me really, really happy. But guess what, guys? With my mistakes, I give to you a submit button this year. Much talked about last year. Everyone was saying, "Why isn't there a submit button? Why?" And you know what? At the end of the year, I said myself, "Why isn't there a submit button? Damn it!" And now, thanks to yours truly, we have a submit button. It has my beautiful face on there, which I'm sure everyone will love to see quite frequently. And it's great times, Jim. It's great times. Our lines are out right now. Have you submitted your picks yet, Jim? Just a curiosity.
Well, I have not. And there's only really one pick I know that I'm making at this point. So I'm very close to some others, and we'll talk it out here. Let me just say quickly, it wasn't that I didn't enjoy the show.
Of course.
And it wasn't that I didn't want to, and I love working with Jose. So it was, and I love working with the cappers in the chat. It was that I don't want to sit back and lose. I'm just not, I just don't want to do that. And I don't want to sit back with public plays and watch them fucking lose. I don't have, life is too short to ride with the fucking schmucks in the public. It's too short. Yep. And I'm just not going to do it. And I wasn't going to do it. And then we came up with a great idea to have members only. Because look at this chat right now. Damon Santore, Big Show, Joseph Thompson, Control Your Vessel, Troy Torrance, TJ, Joey Marinaccio, Gerald Jones, Jeff Slaughter, Dre Machi, Wine Time Sports, Occupancy, Preston, Swig Bets. I mean, Brooklyn Funk Project. Now, I'll go to war with these guys, and that's why I think this is really going to work. We don't have a lot of time either. We have our great baseball show, The Balking Dead, starring Sharpie at 10 after 3. Now, Sharpie's such a great friend of all of ours. He's like, don't worry if you go a little long. I don't want to go long. It's just it's disrespectful to do that. So I'd like to be ready to rock. We have 64 entries right now in our campers contest. I know we'll get over 100. We'll be pushing hard. I want to have over 200. Those members who are watching the show, you do have till Saturday at 10 p.m. at night. I'm going to make it sound like it closes tonight just to push people in, but you do know you'll have from till Saturday at 10 p.m. We got to get Nasty Nate in here. Also, he's nonplussed that he's having issues with it. Also, there's going to be some bumps and bruises along figuring out the speed and how we do this. That's just going to happen. We won't have the flow down right. We're doing 2 minutes. Or no, 3 minutes we decided, but we're going to do 3 minutes. So we got to get into it like within 3 minutes. So we'll have 3 minutes to vote on each pick. Now, do we have a undecided button, or is it just one or the other?
No, it's just one or the other. Fuck you guys if you're undecided. Don't vote. Whatever you guys want to do, but it's just just the two so far.
Okay, so then so unlike last year, we won't be upset if like I can't even tell how many people are watching. We won't be upset if not everybody votes.
Yes.
Like, if you don't really like something or really believe in it, where is it? Where are we here? Can we see how many people are live? No, we can't even see how many people are live. Perfect. Because this is a members only show. Okay, so it's okay. So then that's great. So if you don't really like something, don't vote on it. It's all good. First off, thank you to Jeff Slaughter for putting up the big dollars to get us into the Circa Millions. That's our
Yes.
Jeff doing that for us, giving us this chance and this hope. Secondly, thank you to all of you watching for being members of Pub Sports Radio. We're going to have more things like this that are members only. And instantly seeing everybody who's in the chat, I fucking like it. I like it. I like seeing these are like, you know, our best friends. Okay, Nasty Nate is in. So I like everything we're doing. I'm really proud to be a part of this group. And if we do worse than we did last year, I'll probably lose it. But
I think there should be consequences for us. You know, I think we should have some kind of, you know, bet between ourselves or bet between, we have to do better than last year's Cappers contest or else we have to do X.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's another thing. I'm gonna fucking bounce. Okay, you're gonna show up a week 6, and it's just gonna be Jose, and his tits will be out, and they'll be drunk, and I'll be gone.
My tits will be out. I thought about going tits out for this show.
No, not yet. For the tits out will be because of our poor play. I believe in us. We have to succeed this year. It's members only. I respect all of you guys. Let's fucking go. Are you going to be voting? I'm going to be voting. Are you going to be voting, Jose? I think we should vote. Now, remember, initially, Jeff wanted this for you know, the followers, our fans of Pub Sports Radio to look. There's too much public in that. These are members. I want to be a part of it. I want you to be a part of it. I'm now, you know, I've just gotten really excited. This is fun. I had a lot of fun doing the show last year, but then when I'd see our picks, it was frustrating. I'm 43 years old, and a lot of 43-year-olds have a long life ahead of them. I don't. Let's fucking go and let's win. All right?
Let's do it.
Okay, Jose, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready, Jim. Let's fucking do this. Let's start the voting up. Polls are up. Detroit, Kansas City. Hash it out, Jim.
Okay, my timer is on. It's not working.
Okay, well, don't worry. We started at 110, so we're going to 113. We've talked about this game plenty on Betting with the Bag. Here we go. We're starting this off very nicely and smoothly.
Okay, I am on the +6. Do I want it at +4.5? I don't know. Let's go over the line history here in this one. Pinnacle has not moved it to 4.5. They're still hanging the 5. I know we're dealing with the 4.5. That's market wide. This opened up at 7. It's now at 4.5. The lines have not been a public play. Let's go over to the cash flow for this one. We have 48% of the tickets on the lines and 62% of the cash. So I don't feel like we're sitting here with this real public spot. What do we know about Dan Campbell? He's 16-3 in one possession games against the spread. That made me love them at 6. I was very close to getting him at 6.5, but I was like, is Chris Jones going to be in or not? That's why I was waiting for the information on Chris Jones. And then Dennis Garcia told us Kelsey just hyperextended his knee, and I bet the 6 immediately. My partner in the God, Jesus, what the hell's wrong with me? In Bankroll Blitz, he took him at 6.5 and 6, and he bet the Lions money line today. So obviously he likes it. At 4.5, do I want to move on this? I certainly like Detroit, but I'm not going to bet this one. I'm not going to bet it. Jose, take it away.
Yeah, I don't think I can take it either. I said earlier today, if anything, I'm taking Detroit money line, but that's just because I have good odds on it. 4.5 is tough. It's still Patrick Mahomes. He's still really, really good in the first week of the season every year. Like people have said, he hasn't thrown an interception at all. But, I think I just have to pass on this game. And by the way, and I'm seeing a bunch of people asking for the pass button. So maybe we do add the pass button. Who knows?
I don't think we do, because we're all members. We're all strong cappers. We just don't vote. There's no need. We don't need to see everybody voting this year. This is different. We just don't vote.
Well, apparently, it's hard not to press the button when you have buttons in front of you. So that's what the chat's saying. When there's buttons in front of you, you gotta press them. And I understand it. Time's up, by the way. Let's close this fucking poll.
I have 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Well, Jim, we started 30 seconds late. We started at 110. It's now 113. The poll is over. I forgot. I'm going to write these down. 56% of the vote on the Kansas City Chiefs, and we will see. You will see how that fares, because 53% of the vote last year was not that high.
Okay, I'm very comfortable with this not making our card. Let's move on to game 2 here for us, and we head right to the NFC South. Carolina Panthers at Atlanta Falcons. I'm pressing the timer now. We are on. We are dealing here with the 3.5. We have sharps are all over the Falcons this year, and I don't fully understand why that is. I really don't. And we'll go over that in a little bit. This opened up at 3. It moved to 3.5. So we know right away that, the market has taken it off of that very crucial number. Then when we look at the cash flow in this one, 55% of tickets and 83% of cash are on Atlanta. That makes me nervous. Makes me not. I'm certainly not going to bet Carolina, but I'm just not as high on Atlanta as others. I'm not. I don't have a ton of confidence in Bryce Young off the top. I like Frank Reich. I know he's got a lot to prove. Last year, the Panthers quarterbacks were horrific. 16 touchdown passes, 13 picks over a full season. And now there's no DJ Moore. I mean, I do not think Adam Thielen still has it. And DJ Shark better be big. And Miles Sanders better be big. They drafted Jonathan Mingo at Ole Miss. Hayden Hurst is not the guy, I don't think. And I like EJ Avero as a defensive coordinator. I think this defense could be very, very good. What the hell do we do with the Falcons if I'm not? I mean, what did Desmond Ridder show us last year? He didn't throw a touchdown in the first 3 games he played. In the fourth, he threw 2 against the Bucs team that was resting their starters. Yes, Drake London is electric, but what's Kyle Pitts going to look like after the MCL tear? Because he didn't look that good before it, in all honesty. Bijan Robinson could be a beast. And Ryan Nielsen comes over as a new defensive coordinator. I mean, Calais Campbell, Grady Jarrett. I'm just not as high here. So take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I agree with you. I probably pass this game as well. First of all, round of applause to Jimmy, because he has not said Falcons this year yet. So congratulations to you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
But I think the Falcons will be a pretty good team. I just need them. Well, not them. I need Desmond Ridder to show me something here, and I think he's a guy that will get better as the year goes on. So will this end up being his worst game? Maybe. I could see it. Do I think he's the quarterback of the future? Probably not. It's just probably an easy pass game for me, and the rookie quarterbacks all starting here will be very interesting. I know a lot of people have differing opinions, whether you want to back them or fade them for this week. It's tough, and honestly, I find myself gravitating towards backing them more than fading them. Like for this game example, I'd much rather have the 3.5 with the Panthers. But we'll see. It's an ultimate pass game for me. I didn't have anything I wanted to do in this game, unfortunately.
I'm fascinated. We're going to go over exactly what happens, and we just got to 3 minutes. We just hit it. We want to know I want to know every single game afterwards. I want to know what the percentages are, just for my own knowledge. So I want to know. I want to look at it. So I can't wait to hear what you guys think of this spot. And 57% of the tickets are on the Panthers plus 3.5. You said TJ said divisional dog smash in week 1. In all honesty, the Panthers could make my card. They could legitimately make my card at plus 3.5. I don't know if they will. Billy Friedrichs is Carolina's worst team in the league, and Billy Friedrichs in Carolina. But already the fact that Carolina is at 57%. And Dre Machi saying that only 19 votes more people passed. I think that's great. I like everything that's happening here. I feel like this is going to work. Let's set up the next timer here. I'm going to reset. The next game we have here is a doozy, man. Cincinnati Bengals, Cleveland Browns. The timer is on. Wow. Troy is on the Browns with so much confidence. Alex Pavone is on the Browns with so much confidence. The market believes in a huge improvement from this Browns squad. And we have Joe Burrow coming in off that calf strain. I expect him to be good. We and fine. I expect him to be healthy. We know what he can do with Chase Boyd and Higgins. Can Orlando Brown Jr. and Cordell Volson and Kappa, Williams, Karras, can they protect him? They need to protect him. But we know that the Achilles heel of Burrow is the Cleveland Browns. They beat them. And what Deshaun Watson, who do we get? Chubb coming off another monster campaign. Jim Schwartz comes to fix this defense, and he's got Myles Garrett to start with and Zadarius Smith on the other side. Stefanski struggled at times, 5-13 against AFC North opponents, but 3-0 straight up and against the spread last season at home. So let's just quickly take a look at the line history. We know that we're dealing with a 2.5 right now. Let's move over here. 2.5 at Pinnacle, slightly juiced to the Bengals. This got down to 1.5 during the injury. It opened at 2.5. And cash wise right now, the sharps are on the Browns. I mean, we know that for sure. But 44% of tickets, 74% of cash on the Browns. I have not bet this game, and maybe I should bet the Browns. I have a bias towards the Bengals. I like the Bengals very much. Take it away, Jose.
It's interesting because I don't know what to make of Deshaun Watson. I've avoided him in all fantasy leagues this year because I just don't trust the guy. I don't know what I'm going to get from him, and obviously a home division dog is appealing. My guy TJ dropping home division dogs against the spread in week 1 since 2006, 15-1. 15-1. So just based off that, man, Browns do seem like the spot, but I didn't like the Browns coming into the season at all. The Sweaty Butcher, another good note here. The Browns are 1-11-1 straight up and 5-8 against the spread as a home dog in week 1. But these are different Browns, I think. I think those say that's like the last 13 years. They've had shit for the last 13 years. This is the best quarterback they've had in the last 13 years. Even if he's bad, still probably better than all those guys. So I guess Browns are the spot for me. Might even add it to my card.
I could do it too. I might do it too. I'm trying not to do it. It could make my contest, and I not bet it. That's all. In all honesty, I just, another thing that I'm thinking, and I know we got to make moves here. We're at 3 minutes, so the time is up. But this is going to be a lot easier to, if we were to actually cash, knowing that this has been members only, and we can go through like who's being, who deserves the huge party. And, now that it's not just now it's members only, I think this could be great. Look, I can't wait for this football game. And I bet you this makes my contest. Now I'm starting to think it makes my contest and I don't bet it. But what a pussy move that would be if I did that. I guess I got to step up and be a man and bet the Browns. God, I know why Nasty Nate's asking for the 3. Oh, wow. Brooklyn Funk Project says, if you don't want to back the bet with real money, I wouldn't select it in the contest personally. But the interesting thing, Brooklyn Funk Project, is I don't think I'm going to bet 5 sides this week. That's the issue. I've only bet 2 so far. So that's the issue. But that's a completely legitimate thing to say. Okay, so there we go. Let's see. 80% on the Browns. I like that. That's with the sharps. That would never have happened last year. Right, Jose?
Right. I just added it onto my card. I just made a switch on my card already. By the way, I'll reveal my card at the end of the show.
Now, also, when Jose reveals his card, he has night terrors. He could panic and change them. Right, Jose?
That is absolutely very true. That is 100% true. So, I could, with more information on Saturday, I absolutely could change my picks, yes.
Our in the Cappers contest, everything has to be in by 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. It locks, and then we get to see everybody's action. 100%. So if you see it's not Jose's action, you know that he had night tears. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. I'm glad. Hey, there's only facts in these statements. Sometimes I'll have a dream and I'll be like, oh, it's the Browns.
Okay. Let's move on. Jacksonville Jaguars at Indianapolis Colts. This one is absolutely fascinating. I talked with Troy. I was so high on the Jaguars 2 months ago, and now I don't know. They're a very public spot. I certainly don't want them.
Yeah, you didn't bet the Trevor Lawrence MVP.
I still might, but I think
Come on.
that might be a terrible decision with their offensive line. It has gone from 17-1 or 18-1 down to 14-1. The Jaguars are sitting at 4.5 for both our contest and the Circa contest. There are 5s on the board, and BetChris has a 5, and we know that BetChris and Bookmaker are sharp books, but Pinnacle's the sharpest, and that Jacksonville minus 4.5 at minus 115 has moved 9 cents in the last 24 hours towards the Indianapolis Colts. 9 cents. There's no chance. TJ says, is this Circa card submitted after the show? It is. It is. Jeff has hooked it all up for us. Our man Slaughter.
Shout out to Connor, who I think is the guy that signs us up physically.
He did physically sign us up. Yes, he did. So there's no chance I want the Jags here. Let's go over to the cash flow. I think it'll be even more interesting than it was. We have 29% of the tickets and 43% of the cash on the Indianapolis Colts.
Just say it one more time.
29% of the tickets and 43% of the cash on the Colts. I honestly, if my balls were bigger, I would flip the script and bet the Colts. I just don't know if I can. Calvin Ridley comes over. I mean, like Thomas in New Orleans. What are we going to get from this guy? We haven't seen him in form since 2020. Now he's only 28 years old, and they have Kirk and Zay Jones. Etienne's a monster. Caldwell's got to fix this defense, and has got to big up this defense. I mean, Arden Key's no longer there, and Trayvon Walker looks like it could have been a terrible mistake. And when you make a mistake with a number 1 overall pick or a top 3 or 4 pick, you put your franchise back. Ask the 49ers about that. We're still very good. Steichen comes in as the coach of the Colts, and this guy is so confident. Anthony Richardson, everybody is high on him for offensive rookie of the year. The Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly, Braden Smith offensive line looked so bad last year, but we know how good they can be. Michael Pittman Jr. go to Gus Bradley, an excellent defensive coordinator. God, maybe the Colts season win total over. It's at 6.5. I think I should bet that after talking out. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough game. First of all, the Colts in week 1 are horrible.
0-8, straight up, 1-7-1 since 2014.
Just bad. And now, I mean, how long? That was a lot of Andrew Luck in there. And we've had, obviously, a bunch of shitholes the last fucking it's been horrible for Colts quarterbacks. Let's just put it like that. Now, AR-15 here. I'm excited to see what Richardson does. And I too think this is just another case where he's going to get better as the season goes on. Young quarterbacks and et cetera, et cetera. But the 4.5 does just reek a little bit. It's just a little bit, I don't know. It's too low for my tastings. For contest purposes this year, I'm trying to limit myself to I'm trying to take 80% underdogs. In the contest, I just think taking the points is usually the better idea here, and I think the Jaguars will be good. But week 1, I don't believe in them.
Well, Troy, I think it was Troy or TJ said it would be a shame TJ said shame if Jacksonville's on the card. So this is my first vote. I don't want this on the card. I don't want Jacksonville on the card. We know it would have been on the card last year. I did vote Indianapolis to see if I can keep it from the card.
I agree with what Sweaty Butcher says.
So we're probably at 3 minutes.
Okay, beautiful. I agree with the Sweaty Butcher, though, by the way. He says that if this was week 5, it would be higher, basically. And I agree with that.
I think that the Colts are going to get better and better and better as the season goes on. Can we say the same thing about the Jags?
I think we can. I trust them. I'm heavily invested in the Jaguars this year. 63% on the Jaguars. We'll see if that makes our card. We'll be close.
I'm going to take a heavy look at this schedule for the Colts, heavier look than I have. I'm very interested in the over 6.5 all of a sudden. Okay, let's move on to the next spot on the board. Let me hit the timer. Make sure I hit it this time. And we are off. All right. This one is finally. So there's only 2 sides that I've already bet. The Lions +6. And in all honesty, when it comes down to it, I could end up on the Lions +4.5 in the contest if I can't find 5 other picks just because it's moved a 1.5. It could happen for me. But I'm on the Bucks +6. And it was a whole lot of Troy's breakdown pushing me there. It sucks that the half point is gone. Or does that make you feel good? Week 1 underdogs of +6.5 or more, and that's where this opened, are 21-11-1 against the spread. In my initial writing down this game, I went, so who wants to back the Bucks? And then I end up on the Bucks. And I get it, and I'm fine with that. Mayfield I don't trust, but Godwin and Evans start the year healthy. David Canales, he's got a tough job ahead of him. But the Bucks were bad in the red zone last year. I mean, they're just used to it. It's the defense that we're backing. It's the defense that we believe in. It's the defense. Now, obviously, Winfield's going to have his hands full with Justin Jefferson, but we know the type of fraud team the Vikings were this past season. So we're a minute in. We have 2 more minutes to vote. I'm watching very closely what's going on with everybody in the chat here, but let's quickly touch on this line history. As I said, I got in at 6. Pinnacle's still hanging at 6, but it's at -114. This was -116 yesterday. And then at 9:40 p.m., there was a 9-cent move to the Vikings. At the time, they were plus money. They went to minus money. But there's been another move back to the Bucks, who are now -114 today. Going over to the cash flow for this one. Get this up here. We have 44% of the tickets and 81% of cash on the Bucks. And I want the Bucks. And I'm voting for them right now. Take it away, Jose.
Makes me kind of sick that I've been thinking about taking Quaker Mayfield this week.
I know. It's hard to believe in him, man.
He's fucking horrible. He made my life in college hell. I've called him a bitch to his face. I hate him. I can't stand the guy. And I'm thinking about backing him here. Now, like you mentioned, the Vikings were very fraudulent last year. They got lucky and very a lot of bus stops. Their defense is still probably not good. And they lost, pieces, obviously. And I do like Jordan Addison, their number 2 receiver now, rookie that they just drafted. He'll probably eat off the scraps that Justin Jefferson. I call him Jordan Jefferson every fucking time. But I like what he'll do there. But this defense is good. I mean, I think they still have that fucking defensive tackle whose name escapes me, who just fucking bowling balls over people. And that guy is going to be in Kirk Cousins' lap all day. And we know Kirk Cousins is not a mobile guy. So if you get any kind of pressure on Kirk, you'll be fine here. I like the Bucks. I don't love the Bucks. They're probably not going to make my card, but I lean that way.
They're going to be on my card. I would much rather have the 6, but I'll have to deal with the 5.5. In these contests, you have to deal with the market moving in your direction. And it's just what we have to deal with here. Time
3 minutes are up. Don't worry about the timer. The poll has a timer on it.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to do the timer. Okay, thank you.
So no worries. But 60%, if the chat thing would load for me, I think I saw 60% for the Tampa Bay Bucks. So it'll be close, to say the least. I believe the Jags were at 63. So it'll definitely be close.
Why is it gone? Why can't I see it either?
Yeah, I would love to know that as well.
But you saw it at 6. Do we still have record of it?
Up, and it's up finally. All right, 60%.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good. Okay, and you're keeping record of these things, right?
Yes.
Thank you, buddy. Okay, let's roll on. I hope Tampa Bay makes our card, and I've become higher and higher on the Titans. Week 1, just week 1, since we've been talking about this spot. I do not trust them to stay healthy, but they come into the season healthy. And I'm interested in using them in the contest. I'm interested in using them and betting them. This moved to 3. So this opened up at 4. It moved to 3.5 on August 14th, and it moved to 3 on August 30th. When it first moved to 3, the Saints started taking money. It opened up minus 107, or the marks started moving their direction, is better thing to say. And the Saints got up to minus 115 yesterday morning. Since then, there's been 5 cents of buyback. There's still the juice spot at 3. We go over to the cash flow here for this one. Sorry, where the hell is it? My God, we don't have time for this. When we move over to the cash flow, we have, wow, God, 59% of the tickets and 93% of the cash on the Titans. I tell you, man, those big bets came in at 4. At 3, I don't know if that's the case. I really don't. But look, I like Vrabel. I think there's a coaching advantage here for the Titans. He's been excellent as an underdog, 24-13-1 since 2018. Tannehill 34, Hopkins 31, Derrick Henry at 29 with a ton of miles on him. Yeah, they're going to get hurt at some point. This offensive line was just destroyed last year with injuries. Shane Bowen has done such a great job on the run. He's got to figure that out with the pass, and bringing over Sean Murphy bunting should help. And again, this team is healthy right now. So then for the Saints, Dennis Allen is not good within this number, 3-6 against the spread. Carmichael, 15th year as an offensive coordinator. I'm surprised they didn't bring in a new one, honestly. Olave is a beast, but I just find it impossible to sit here and think that Michael Thomas is going to be the 2019. He's not. So the Saints defense was very good last year. I want to see what the chat is saying in this one. Take it away, Jose.
I'm the lone guy that thinks that Michael Thomas can come back and be okay. I have Michael Thomas and Hopkins and kind of in my same basket, honestly. I don't expect Hopkins to be that big of a factor here today because Lattimore's a beast. Shout out to Preston and shout out to Jeff, by the way, Saints fan. I don't love either one of these teams, honestly, and I just don't really believe in them. If I had to guess, I would probably say that I like the Titans at the +3 here, but I'm still not opposed to the Saints. Now, Andrew G does bring up a good point. No Kamara here, and I do like Kamara a lot this year. I think he'll be good as well, but the Olave-Thomas tandem will be very interesting to me, and can Derek Carr just not shit down his pants? Because if the Saints have good quarterback play, I think there can be a pretty good squad. I don't know if they're the walk into the NFC South that everyone thinks they are, but I don't hate them at all. So, by the way, 3 minutes are up. I'm ending the poll right now. This is going to be a close one. Tennessee, 62% of the vote.
God, it'd be nice if that could have taken out Jacksonville, but it is what it is. Okay. I think I'm going to move on some of these sides now, honestly. I just think that we see what these dogs do in week 1, year after year after year. And God. Okay. Let's roll on. Next up for us is a wild one. San Francisco 49ers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And good God, Jeff says that's a loser, guys. That might not make our card at this point. Good God, am I happy that I waited. This got down to 1.5 at Heritage yesterday. And then, of course, the news of Bosa signing has been very, very big. We all remember what the 49ers did last year in Chicago in week 1. They looked awful. We're sitting at 2.5 right now. 2.5 at -104. So the 2.5 yesterday for the Steelers was -117. And of course, the news of the signing, and this got down to even money. Now they're slightly juiced again at 2.5. I wanted to ensure I got a 2.5 and I didn't have to pay too much for it. And I also, I'm very interested in the under in this one. I haven't moved on that either. But 46% of tickets, 81% of cash on the Steelers. Shanahan's been really bad in week 1 openers, 1-5 against the spread. there's a ton of pressure on Brock Purdy's shoulders, and this is one dangerous defense. And we know that he's going up against, and we know what Tomlin does. 26, 12-3 as underdogs of a field goal or shorter. He was 3-0-1 against the spread as dogs of +3 or shorter last year. He's been a home underdog 21 times in his career at Pittsburgh. They're 14-4-3 against the spread. I can't wait to watch this football game. Take it away, Jose.
My favorite game of the weekend, besides the Monday Nighter, obviously. Here's my bold proclamation. Jesus. Brock Purdy does not end the year as the 49ers quarterback. Injury or just being shitty, whichever one. But I think my guy, Sam Darnold, a.k.a. Sam Darnold, takes Brock Purdy's job at some point. I think he's better. I like the Steelers here today. I like the Steelers money line, honestly. I took the Steelers in our contest. I believe in Pickens, and I believe in our guy Pickens as well. Yeah, I think both are going to be great. I've been a big Pickens guy this year in fantasy football. I just think the Steelers are good. And Mike Tomlin, usually you could say decided coaching advantage for the 49ers with Shanny on the other side. But I don't know, man. Mike Tomlin is a fucking dog, and he can get these guys up. I understand Bosa coming back will give the 49ers a boost. I'm sure he'll get a sack in the game. But how many plays is he going to play? He's not going to go all out 100%. I think he'll be limited, gassed at some point. So give me the Steelers. I like the Steelers a lot.
Yeah, I plan on betting this. I haven't yet. I found it very easy to take the Lions and Bucks at +6, and these other shorter dogs I found just more difficult to press the button. I see, the sentiment that this is a terrible decision that we're on the Steelers from, cappers that I respect. And, the one thing about Tomlin caring so much about the preseason is that we get into week 1 and his teams are very sharp and now they're very healthy. And, on the other hand, we see Shanny, not caring about the preseason, and we get into week 1 and, they look nothing compared to what we see at the end of the year. So we'll see. I'm comfortable if this makes our card. Jeff Slaughter says we're going to see why Brock was a third stringer in the first place. Let's shut it down, Jose.
Let us shut it down, and we move on with the Steelers at 72%. Most likely going to make our card there.
Oh, that'll make it. Let's move on. 1 p.m. Eastern, Arizona Cardinals 4-13, 3-5 on the road at the Washington Commanders 8-1, 4-5 at home last year. We're at FedEx Field. This is going to be my survivor pick, and I don't like Washington, but from what I've taken from Arizona is they're not trying. I don't want, if you're saying they're going to be your survivor pick and yet you won't take them to cover a full touchdown, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I get it, but I think the Texans are dangerous at +10, honestly. And if it comes down to those two, which one's going to be your survivor pick? Well, and I haven't locked it in the survivor, but that's what it certainly. I have in one pool that I'm in, but not this one. Take a look at the line history here. I know Arizona is going to be bad. I get it. This opened up at 6 and has moved to 7. It's clear to a lot of people that Arizona wants to start over and wants top draft picks, and sometimes you got to strip it down before you build it up. There's a lot of managers in sports that believe that you got to strip it completely down and then build it up in your own image. That's what's happening here. Washington's just gone from -6 to -7. That -7 is juiced. When we get to the cash here, you have 82% of tickets and 77% of cash on the Commanders. We always see like a big upset in week 1. Is this the one? I don't see how it can be. I really don't. It just looks like Jonathan Gannon wants to show what he can do as a coach. Strip it down, build it back up. And the Commanders have a lot of really, really strong pieces, and Bieniemy comes over. I'm just not sold on Sam Howell. And, obviously looking at their win total at 6.5, I mean, people expect the Commanders to be worse this year than they were last year. Take it away, Jose. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts.
What are the percentages for the money on this game?
the percentages. Sorry, pull this up again. We have 82% of the tickets on the Commanders and 77% of the cash.
There you go. Yeah, I was probably going to use the commies as well for my survivor pick. Kind of picking against the Diamondbacks. The Cardinals will be probably very prevalent for me in Survivor, and I obviously would like to just survive the first week. That'd be great because I didn't last year. But I like Sam Howell. I think he's going to be a decent quarterback. He was good in UNC, and for some reason, Ron Rivera, senile or not, was like, "Oh, I should have used this guy last year if I knew he was just good." Their coach, the Cardinals coach, reminds me of Kendall Roy from Succession. Obviously, I know you won't understand that reference, but I don't. I like the commies. I like the 6.5 for their win total. Do I want them at 7? I kind of don't. But I lean that way, honestly. And like I said, for these contests, I'm trying to stay towards underdogs here. I want like 80 to 90% of my picks to be underdogs, and a home favorite with 7 points just is not something I'm going to be taking this year. So I lean commies, but I can't get there either. So, but I'm going to have fun betting on the commies this year, I think. And plus, Terry McLaurin's out. Well, okay. I don't know if he's for sure out, but he has turf toe, and I'm assuming he's going to be out. And Jahan Dodson's going to get most of the number 1 wide receiver routes. And I like him, but we'll see. We'll see. I believe in the running backs, too. Gibson will be more of a wide receiver this year than running back, I assume. But I like him as well.
Let's shut it down. I want to see the number.
Let us shut it down and see. 3 minutes are up. 56% on the commies.
Good. I'm very comfortable with it not making our card. Let's move on. Houston Texans at Baltimore Ravens. It's funny. Obviously, I've loved D'Amico Ryans for a long time, and bringing in Bobby Sloak, I think, is a great decision. CJ Stroud, it's going to have a lot of work to do, but he gets to do it with a great offense. Maybe great's too much. A good offensive line and a weak wide receiving group. But he's got Damian Pierce, who's going to be so dynamic. You add Devin Singletary. You give him a tight end you can trust in Dalton Schultz. You draft Will Anderson 3rd overall. Jimmy Ward comes in. I feel like I'm going to start betting the Texans every week. It sounds so crazy, but I certainly did not expect to back them and want to back them. And I like the Ravens. And it's scary to play in Baltimore. I mean, the Ravens are a dangerous, dangerous team. And Todd Monken comes in as the offensive coordinator. He wants to change, and Troy put it really well on our show, just what this team is made of, with Dobbins and Edwards and running the ball with Lamar. And he wants to change that up. And, you have Patrick Queen in a contract year. There's spots where there's a ton of motivation for players to step up, and Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton. But I still think I bet the Texans. I really do. Houston's now minus 115 at that 10. I think I needed this show to talk some of the ideas that we've had out. And this show was a huge part of my success last year. Getting to do it on the Tuesday and then go over everything again. I think the Texans make my card. I think I bet the Texans. Let's take a look at the cash flow here. It's hard to say that out loud. 44% of the tickets, 54% of the cash. Yeah, I think the Texans make my card, and I think they bet them, and I just voted for them. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I mean, this is a spot where, like I said, I want to take underdogs this year, disgusting or not. I lean Texans. The Texans were very close to making my card in the Cappers contest. I don't think they will, but I was close. And again, this was just another example of me wanting to back the rookie quarterbacks here. And it's not like I'm purposely saying I want to back them all. I would much rather fade them like Saturated's doing, but it just kind of feels like they're in some advantageous spots. But I'm going to be honest. If I have a favorite offensive coordinator in my lifetime, it's Monk. He was at Oklahoma State. He made them into the offensive juggernaut that they were then. And I believe in him a lot. But Troy raised a great point on Tuesday. This was a smash mouth, run the ball Raven squad for the last 5 years or whatever it's been with Lamar. And now we're going to go to the spread offense here, basically, with Lamar Jackson, who, again, I love. I think he's a great quarterback, but has, fairly had questions about his ability to throw the football accurately continuously. And now he's got Odell Beckham, who is or isn't washed up. I kind of feel like he is. And then Zay Flowers, who's fine, but he's just a small wide receiver that will run down the field and all that stuff, There's not like a possession receiver I trust besides Mark Andrews, who was routinely doubled and triple teamed last year. So we'll see how it works out for them. I lean Texans, but I don't want this on my card, honestly.
I think I've talked myself into betting it and putting it in the contest, and I voted for it. Let's shut it down.
Poll is up 53% on the Baltimore Ravens. Will not make our card, and we move on.
Troy Torrance just bet the Texans. This is I know that I'm trying to. Why was I so much better this past season than in other years? And I think this show, getting the Tuesday and then the Thursday, I think it solidifies everything for me. It's too much information to grasp almost on the Tuesday. Then you sit with it for a couple of days, and then on the Thursday you're like, let's fire. Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears, Soldier Field, Chicago, Illinois. Are you just supposed to have a clear idea of a game script for every game? That's probably too difficult. And so I think it's okay that I have no idea what the hell is going to go on in this football game. There's been this huge move to the Packers. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with right now. And that's throwing me for a loop. You want to be able to clearly explain why moves take place. I can't do it here. This opened up with the Packers at plus 2.5. That Bears minus 2.5 opener on May 12th at Pinnacle, the Bears were minus 114 and the Packers were plus 103. And now we're all the way down to 1. I don't. 52% of the tickets, 77% cash on the Packers. The Packers are very sharp, and I don't know what Jordan Love is going to do. We have 3 receivers on the roster who've played more than one NFL game. That's now he's got Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, and that's going to help. And Joe Barry in his 3rd year has got to figure out how to stop the run. I mean, they were just gashed last. It was horrible how bad they were gashed. And then I expect so much more from Chicago this year. I mean, everybody does. This could be a really good football team. But the market moving the way it is, I mean, can you provide some clarity? And I apologize that I can't.
I like the Packers here. I don't like saying that. Shout out to my guys, Troy, Saturated, all the Chicago guys in here. But the Bears have not beaten the Packers in quite a long time. Obviously, that was with my quarterback at the helm, and this is the new quarterback. But, I mean, how many games have Jordan Love played? How much film have they seen of him? Not much. And just as my quarterback left this poverty franchise, they decided to make the best offensive line in football. Not really, but they're a really good offensive line from all the things I hear. And the Bears' defensive line is not something I'm particularly worried about. Ngakoue, I believe they signed him late. I mean, sure, I guess, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if this was an Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon fest with some ball control by the Packers, and they just grit out a win here. And Chicago burns the flames already because Justin Fields cannot beat the Packers, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the things that are worrisome is that the $108 man is like calling Christian Watson hamstring. I saw that. And Romeo Dobbs, I believe, also hamstrings are barking at him. And that's like the number one injury you don't want for a wide receiver. I mean, look at Cooper Kupp. Who the fuck knows what he's doing? So I find that difficult. But if I'm making a bet on this game, it's 100% the Packers. The Packers are actually the team that I just pulled from my Cappers contest in place of the Browns. And I still might be on the Packers. It's them or the Chargers now. I've been kind of waffling back and forth on. So I like the pack here, honestly, and I don't like saying that because I do not like the Packers at all. So I like the pack.
God, it's going to be one wild Sunday. Thank God I'm going to have so much invested and I won't have to worry about this football game. I'm just good
Yes.
God. Let's roll on. We're tight for time. Sharpie's Walking Dead starts in 17 minutes.
Yes, it is, and we have 54% on the Bears.
Let's move on. Las Vegas Raiders at Denver Broncos, Mile High, and I have seen very sharp colleagues of mine here, like Ron Crawford and Birdie on the Raiders, and I don't get it. I don't get it, but I think that it will be enough to keep me off of the Broncos. And I mean, Denver has just got this incredible history in openers, home openers, 20-3 straight up. I mean, in that time that they went 23 straight up, they're 74% against the spread. Sean Payton comes in, the offensive line was horrific, and Russell Wilson has got to be different. He's got to act different. And this is another team that, has dealt with so many injury issues and dealt with a ton more in the offseason. No Tim Patrick, no Jonas Griffith, no Baron Browning, no Jerry Jeudy. Javonte Williams needs better keep their shit together. Surtain and Justin Simmons. I mean, this defense could be so good. So, I'd love to hear what you guys are on in the chat with this game, because I guess I stay off of Denver, even though I want them and I want them bad, but not bad enough to expect that I know more than colleagues that I believe in. This is sitting at 3.5 right now. It opened at 3.5 from the opener. From the opener on May 12th, we're at the exact same line, no movement. And from a cash flow standpoint here in this one, we have 41% of tickets, 45% cash on the Broncos. I guess I have to leave this off my card. Take it away.
Yeah, I like the Raiders here too. I think the Raiders will not be horrible this year. I think obviously Josh McDaniels is not a good coach, but I'm a Jimmy G believer. I wanted Jimmy G on my football team this year before my quarterback stepped into the mix. But I don't hate the Raiders. And here's the thing. Everyone was really hyped on Russell Wilson last year, me being one of them. We all got burned by it. Are we doing the same thing with Sean Payton? Is Sean Payton still a good football coach? I don't know. I need him to believe. I need him to show it to me. He got that big bag from the Walmart owners, and I don't believe it. Show me that you guys can play offensive efficiently here with probably no Jerry Jeudy. I don't think Sean Payton's a very good coach anymore. We'll see how that works out. And I don't think Russell Wilson ends the year as this quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Sean Payton tried to throw his big swinging dick in here and bench Jimmy or bench Russell Wilson for Jarrett Stidham, who they signed this offseason. So I passed this game. I lean Raiders, but this is just a game I wasn't interested in at all. I just don't think the Broncos are going to be a competent franchise continuing. So I'll be interested to see how it goes.
All right, we're going to have to cut this down to 2 minutes now. 2 minutes, even though Sharpie was such a gentleman about saying it's okay if we plead in this show, I really want to try not to.
Well, unfortunately for you, Jimmy, 3 minutes are up now, and 65% on the Las Vegas Raiders.
No, that helps me. That helps me a great deal. I mean, I haven't bet yet. This is the show. I'll sit back. I don't need to add this. I'm going to have enough action. Let's move on. 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Try to keep it to 2 minutes here. Philadelphia Eagles, New England Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. I've come so close to trusting Dennis. I do trust Dennis Garcia, but moving on the under that he likes so much. I've had trouble with the side. The whole storyline of Bill Belichick having months and months to prepare. I understand, with the debacle of Judge and Patricia, we've said comfortably that we can put a line through Mac Jones' stats. I get that. I I could bet the Patriots at +4. That wouldn't be the craziest thing to do, I don't think. I don't know if I get to the window because of my bias with what I've seen from the Eagles, and I bet them to win the Super Bowl. Uh, I didn't have like a big future stick on them like a lot of people, but I had them to beat the Chiefs in that game, and so I have the same issue with the Bengals. Is that going to keep me off of sides that are probably the right side? It's very possible. This is at 3.5 at Pinnacle. This moved from 5 to 3.5 on August 30th. And while every other book was hanging a 4, they comfortably had the 3.5 out there. Not only that, but that 3.5 that on September 5th, -3.5 for Philly was -117. It's now -104. You know what? I should probably bet the Patriots at +4. I probably should, but I don't know if my balls are big enough. What do you think, Jose? Take it away. Not about my balls, but
Well, yeah, we've had conversations about your balls. You're an old man. We know that is. I love the Patriots this week. I fucking cannot stand them at all. It's my least favorite NFL franchise. I hate Bill Belichick with a passion. I think Mac Jones sucks. But Bill Belichick's the best football coach in the NFL. I think he's that good. And here's the thing. Unfortunately for everyone else, this is going to be the Tom Brady love fest here. Tom Brady comes back to Gillette. They do the whole thing. I'm sure they'll retire his number, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a whole celebration of Tom Brady. And with the GOAT in the arena, I think the Patriots go ahead and cover, if not win this game, honestly. I fucking cannot stand the New England Patriots. They're my least favorite NFL franchise. I think this team will fucking stink this year, honestly. But I think it's early enough. I think the Eagles will just knock off some rust. Jalen Hurts, who I've never been that high on, knocks off some rust maybe, but this New England Patriots defense, I think will be good enough to hold them down, and the offensive line perhaps can protect Mac Jones a little bit, who I still think is horrible, but I think he'll be good enough here to cover.
31% of the tickets, 54% of cash on the Patriots. The more we talk about it, the more I think the Patriots end up on my card, I guess.
51% on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Let's keep rolling. We got to be quick here. Next up, 4:25 p.m. Eastern, Miami Dolphins at Los Angeles Chargers. Troy put out a very, very good breakdown as to why he's on the Chargers. He got in at -2.5. It's now a 3. That 3 is at even money at Pinnacle. And, cash-wise, though, this is the type of situation that you'd like to be backing a side like the Chargers. 33% of the tickets and 22% of the cash is on the Chargers. Just moved to 23. And yet we're sitting here moving from that 2.5 to a 3. That's a big, big move from 2.5 to 3. They're all obviously welcoming Dolphins cash. Look, Tua starts the season healthy. They didn't fix the O-line in the offseason, but you have Teron Armstead there. They didn't give Connor Williams the extension. Vic Fangio comes in to fix the defense. Maybe he's more than capable of doing that. I hate Brandon Staley. I don't like him. I'm so thankful Joe Lombardi's gone. I think this is a healthy Chargers team that's going to be very dangerous and could be very dangerous here in week 1. And I think that I bet them. I think I'm going to make a lot of moves on them here in the next 48 hours, futures and side. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, this is the one play that I've been waffling on too. I mentioned it earlier. I like the Packers +1 and the Chargers here as well. I guess Troy's case seeped into me. Herbert, I like a lot. They're going to be using the fuck out of Eckler, obviously, and Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are both healthy right now. I'm low on Quentin Johnson. I don't believe in that guy. TCU wide receiver is always kind of down for me, I guess. I don't know, even though I like Doxson. But I just don't trust the Miami Dolphins here. I'm going to do that all fucking year again. I don't trust the Dolphins here. I know Tua's healthy. I know they'll just throw it up to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill and let him run under it, I'm sure. But it's just not something I'm truly trusting in. So the more I talk about it, I feel like I should just be on the Packers instead of the Chargers here. I don't trust them. I don't trust either squad here. I guess I need him to show me because you're right about Staley. You guys mentioned so I forgot who we were talking about earlier is the worst coach in the NFL. It's for me, it's like Ron Rivera and then Staley. Staley is atrocious. And I know the defense has been okay since he's there, and he's more of a defensive guy, but yeah, just not for me. So I think I'll end up probably taking the Chargers off and adding the Packers on my card. So
The Chargers will be on my card here. Let's roll on. We got to be fast.
well, the poll has ended. Shout out to Austin Eckler. 60%. 60% on the Chargers there, -3.
Let's roll on. I hope that makes our card. Los Angeles Rams, Seattle Seahawks, Lumen Field in Seattle, Washington. You know, we all have a sense of, a lot of us believe the Rams are going to be terrible. There's people that believe that McVay is such a great coach and he's so intense that they're still going to get to their over season win total. I'm not high on the Seahawks. I put that all out on a platter on our Tuesday show. A bankroll blitz with Troy. This opened up at 6. This went down to 4.5. There's been buyback to 5.5. When we go over to the cash, I'm not going to vote on this. It's not something that makes me want to, get to the window, but 65% of the tickets, 59% of cash on the Seahawks. That home advantage that we have, a vividness bias of them having, they've not had now for a long time. Last 5 years, not including the year where there was nobody in the stands, they're 17-23-1 against the spread at home. Look, I love their offense, but I think that Clint Hurts group's just going to get eaten up again. Finished 30th in total rushing yards allowed, 27th in yards per carry allowed. Jamal Adams has not practiced yet, even though he's been activated off the PUP list. Is Draymond Jones worth $50 million? Well, you bring back all these old stars and expect them to step up on defense. 3 old stars are going to step up. I don't know. I don't see it, but I'm certainly hesitant. I definitely don't want to be on the Rams. And, we know Cup out. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, Cup out on the IR, probably. We haven't put him on there officially, but apparently nerve damage in his hamstring too. Not good. I will say, if I'm looking to back the Rams, it'll probably be earlier rather than later in the season when most everyone is healthy, aside from Cup, obviously. And by most everyone, I mean Matthew Stafford, I guess. But I just nothing here for me. I admittedly I kind of thought about using the Seattle Seahawks as my survivor pick against these Rams. But yeah, nothing here for me either. I just couldn't get there with either squad. So if I had to gun to head take it, I guess it would be Rams, but nothing for me. So ending the poll real quick as 2 minutes are up 57% on the Los Angeles Rams.
I think TJ could be right. This could be a sharp side early. This could be a sharp side right here. I might be leaving money on the table, not backing them. Let's go to the Sunday nighter. Cowboys, New York Giants are going to be live right here on Pub Sports Radio for this one. I'll be hosting the show, and I'm really excited about the opportunity. I don't trust McCarthy and Dak Prescott. If you put another coach and a good quarterback in, this team could win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
But I don't think those guys can win the Super Bowl. And the Giants were, Daboll was a miracle worker last year. 10-2 against the spread as dogs, 13-4 against the spread overall. Daniel Jones came of age. They bring in Waller and Campbell. I mean, remember how bad their wide receivers were last year. Paris Campbell's got to help. I think Wink Martindale, I think we'll see why the Ravens let him go. We'll see why Harbaugh stopped believing him. They had a cupcake schedule last year, and now they have a really tough schedule. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. And we have these Cowboys are a very juiced 3 right now. They opened up at -3 at plus money. They're now -3 at -117. God, we have a bias clearly from what the Giants did last year, but the more I sit with this game, the more I think that the Cowboys should probably be bet here. if Daboll wasn't such a miracle worker, imagine if Daboll was on the other side. I would have a ticket for the Cowboys to win it all. It's a 50-50, 48% of tickets, 48% of cash on the Cowboys. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I honestly like the Cowboys here. I don't trust the Giants. I don't trust Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones stinks. I think one of the worst decisions of the offseason was paying Daniel Jones all that money. I don't believe in him, not even a little bit, you know. And he's, as we said, a strong runner and everything, but he was a strong runner, or I should say, he was ran a lot because at one point I'm sure the Giants didn't think this guy was going to be their quarterback. He said, fuck it, let him run. If he gets hurt, it's okay. You know, he wasn't the guy anyways, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see Daniel Jones run less now that he has his large contract and they need him to stay healthy, et cetera, because who the fuck else they have. But I don't trust the Giants here at all. I was close to taking the Cowboys here, but Daboll is too good of a coach for me to take him or to leave him, or I should say take a home favorite against him, or a road favorite, excuse me. So
and look at all these strong guys on the Giants, Cappers in our chat. I'm very interested. I didn't vote on this. Maybe this is simply just a live bet. Take it away, Jose. Where are we at?
I'll tell you, the poll is over, and it is 63% for the New York Giants. We're going to have a battle for these last couple of spots here in the 60s.
Wow.
So might even have some overtime.
Oh, then we got to be really fast because Sharpie's cool about waiting, but we can't have him waiting long. Monday nighter, Bills, Jets. I've become higher and higher on the Buffalo Bills in this spot. The market has as well. This opened up with the Bills. Well, I mean, the Bills opened up at -1 at -105, and now we're at -2.5, and that 2.5 is juiced to -108.
We've got a 2 in the contest.
Is it really only 2 in the contest? Wow. 2.5 juiced at Pinnacle. And when we go over to the cash here, you have 68% of the tickets on the Bills. So, yeah, they're a road favorite. 76% of the cash. So, you got big bets coming in on them. And I think they want to show out here against the Jets. And, I'm not saying that when we're finishing week 17 that the Bills I would bet them over the Jets then. I think that the Bills have a lot to prove this year. And McDermott is 12-6 against the spread in the first 3 weeks of the year. He just comes prepared. I don't know if Ken Dorsey's capable of creating a more conservative offense to stop from Allen's interceptions and still make everybody happy. I'm not sure if he can do that. And I know that their running back is a real issue. James Cook better be ready to be spectacular. But I don't know what we're going to get from the Jets. And we know they're going to be better. And Nathaniel Hackett has a lot to prove. But Robert Saleh is 1-5 against the spread through the first 3 weeks. The Bills want this so badly. Do the Jets really care that much about sending this message in week 1? I don't think Saleh does that much. I think he wants to get better and better as the year goes on and win the Super Bowl. I don't think he wants to win week 1, whereas I think the Bills want to beat the Jets so badly here. Take it away, Jose.
I think the Jets want to win this first game fucking bad. I think they want to send a message and show everyone that these are not your dad's old Jets. And all those fucking Big Bob Saleh stats, I throw those fucking things out the window because he had fucking incompetent at quarterback. Just a bunch of stooges out there. And now Aaron Rodgers is here. And I've heard a lot of shit being talked about Aaron Rodgers the whole year. He doesn't care. He's fucking washed up. He's not good. Everyone said the same shit about fucking Tom Brady when he went to the Buccaneers. People said the same shit about Matthew Stafford going to the Rams. And I think Aaron Rodgers comes into this Jet squad and has put a thunderbolt into this fucking organization. There's a leader in the organization that people can go to now on the offense. He's a bit of a dickhead, sure, but sometimes you have to be a bit of a dickhead. And I'm not worried about Nathaniel Hackett either. Hackett's a great offensive coordinator. Now, if you give him the keys to the fucking car, he's going to drive it off the fucking boat or off the fucking bridge into a boat like Chappaquiddick. But I believe in this Jet squad fully. And our defensive line is phenomenal. Quentin Williams is a fucking beast. He took off his braces. He's got the best smile in football now. I believe in the Jets. Fuck you, Josh Allen. Fuck Von Miller. We have the better cook on the field, too. James Cook ain't shit compared to Dalvin. I can't wait. Brees Lightning's going to come in here and do his thing. The Jets win this ball game.
Let's get to the votes, because if we have to go into an overtime, we got to do it very fast. What did this end up at?
Unsurprisingly, just like last year, 54% of the people on the Bills after I give my plea to take the Jets.
All right. Let's go here. Jose, take a little bit of time putting this together. This is really important that we get this right. Thank you guys for being a part of this show. Members only Cappers contest show. Thank you to Jeff Slaughter for putting up the cash to get us into the Circa Millions. So we're playing for keeps. If we could succeed here, it'd be a huge, huge deal. And because it's a Cappers contest, it's really easy for us to know who to celebrate the money with if we can get there. And it would be, what a story that would be. Jose, interrupt whenever you're ready, but don't, take your time. This is the most important part, is us getting this right here. And if you could send me I want to know every vote here, because I'm going to be locking in action.
Okay, I think I'm prepared.
Okay, do we have an overtime?
We do not.
Okay, good. Okay, let's start from number 5.
Okay, so there were a lot of 60%ers in here. The Tampa Bay Bucks were at 60. The Chargers were at 60. The Tennessee Titans were at 62, and that barely missed our cut here. The top 5, both at 63%. The Jaguars at -4.5, and the Giants at +3 at 63% there. The third place squad, the Las Vegas Raiders at 65% +3.5. Number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 2.5, and the Cleveland Browns at number 1 +2.5.
What were the Steelers?
80%. 72% at 2.5, and 80% for the Browns at 2.5 as well.
All right, there you go. We can't take too much time because everybody's got to go to our man Sharpie's show. You will be directed immediately there. We have the redirect on, so you'll be directed immediately to Sharpie's show. The Jaguars, the Giants, the Raiders, the Steelers, the Browns. Billy Friedrich nonplussed. Just a quick look here, and I know we got to go, but quick look at whether or not this is that public here. We know that the Jaguars are. Let me get over here quickly. Maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe we don't have time to do this. If I take off all markets and go to sides, that'll work. Okay, here we go. The Jaguars are a public side, so there's one public side. The New York Giants are not a public side, but it's 50-50. They're not really a sharp one at this point. The Raiders are a public side. The Steelers are not a public side. That's a sharp side. And the Browns are a sharp side as well. I'll take it. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. We got to go right to Sharpie's show. Thank you guys so much for everything that you brought into this. I'm really, really, really excited about this. I love working with you, Jose, and I love that this is a members-only show. Let's have a big week 1. And this really helped me kind of clarify what I want to do, what moves I want to make, because I've only got 2 bets in. Buccaneers +6, Lions +6. Jose, you want to close the show, my man?
Good luck, everyone. Don't forget, if you're in here and haven't signed up for the Cappers contest, first of all, what the fuck? Second of all, sign up. $100 entry fee for the Survivor and the Cappers contest. A lot of fun. We're going to keep pumping it up. Tune in. Sharpie show right now. Stick around. Stick here. Go get your beverage. Go get your drink. Whatever you want to get. It'll be a whole lot of fun. Leche. And those bookmakers. Let's fucking go.